Well, guys, let's talk about Joe Biden. 2024 is going to be here pretty fast. I wish it was already here, guys, because we need to get rid of this guy. I mean, I've been alive for almost 46 years, and this guy is the worst ever. Now, Democrats, you're going to have to make a choice, starting with your primaries. Now, do I believe that Joe Biden's actually going to get the Democrat nomination? Yes, I do. I do believe that he will be the nominee for the Democrats. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the Democrats actually really want Joe Biden. But it's going to be up to Democrats on that. I'm not voting in the Democrat primaries. I'm not a Democrat. You guys know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Trump. Things were pretty great under Trump. You know what? Maybe some people actually having that red pill moment when they realize, you know what? My life was a whole lot better under Donald Trump. This administration is incompetent. Completely incompetent, guys. I mean, Joe Biden, they're just wheeling him in at this point. They're wheeling him in. He's being controlled by somebody or something. I don't know. This guy is an unmitigated disaster. So America needs to wake up in 2024. And based off of these CNN polls, maybe some people may have just been waking up because Joe Biden got some pretty bad news from CNN, which we're going to be talking about right now. Look at this. Biden has a lead over Democratic primary challengers, but faces headwinds overall. Now, the thing is about the Democrats, they don't have a very good bench. Now, Bobby Kennedy Jr., his politics really don't seem to be aligning with the Democrats. I mean, what should we even call RFK Jr.? The man sounds a whole lot like, some of the things we're actually hearing on the right, especially, when it comes to biological men and women's sports. He's not down with that stuff. But I think he actually aligns with them when it comes to the whole climate agenda. I believe that's the only thing that's keeping him as a Democrat. So if you just remove RFK out of the picture, because I don't think he's going to win the nomination, you got Joe Biden, you got who else? Marianne Williamson. That's pretty much it. If I'm missing somebody else, let me know. But Biden actually having a lead in against his primary challengers, not shocking considering the bench is just that bad. Joe Biden's that bad too. Look at this, guys. Joe Biden's bid for his second term begins with a wide advantage over his declared opponents for the Democratic nomination, but he faces headwinds among overall public from declining favorability and a widespread view that his reelection would be more negative than positive for the country, according to a new poll CNN conducted. Yes, now check this out. This is bad right here, guys. It says here, just a third of Americans say that Biden winning in 2024 would be a step forward or a triumph for the country. 33%. That's it. 33% of Americans say a Joe Biden win would be a positive. Maybe, guys, some people are waking up. At the same time, the survey finds a decline in favorability of views of Biden over the past 6 months, from 42% in December to 35% now. I mean, that's only what, like 6 months? His favorability has declined by 7%. I mean, this is just bad, guys. This is really, really bad news for Joe Biden. And results from the same poll released earlier this week showed Biden's approval rating for handling the presidency at 40%, among the lowest for any first-term president ever since Dwight Eisenhower at this point in their term. Guys, this is shockingly bad here, guys. This is shockingly bad. Now, for me, I agree with that. Joe Biden's been a disaster. And you know what? When it came to 2020, people cast their votes, not because they were actually supporting Joe Biden. You did have anti-Trump voters out there as well. Maybe those anti-Trump voters are actually waking up and smelling the coffee here. Maybe, just maybe. Because right now, I do believe that we're actually headed for a Trump-Biden rematch 2.0. So we'll actually have to see. Now, in 2020, Biden actually won the independents. From what we actually understand, I don't believe they even touch on this. Independents have completely flipped on Biden. Completely flipped. Here's more bad news for Biden, too. Within his own party, 60% of Democratic and Democratic-leaning voters say they back Biden for the top of next year's Democratic ticket. Only 60%. 20% favor activist and former lawyer Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's gaining, guys. 20% now. He kind of just came out of nowhere. 8% for Marianne Williamson. Yeah, this is bad, guys. This is super bad here. Biden's primary supporters are largely locked in. 58% say they would definitely support him, and 42% say that they could change their minds. In contrast, those backing other candidates are far from committed, with just 19% in that group saying they definitely will support their first choice candidate, and 81% saying they would change their minds. Now here, the poll suggests that Biden would likely win the support of the vast majority of Democratic-aligned voters in 2024. Just 14% in that group say they wouldn't back him in the primary, and only 7% say they would definitely not support him in November 2024. Should he win, the parties not. Now, next it says here, but the results signal that Biden could face a challenge keeping Democratic-aligned white non-college voters in his camp in next year's general election. 16% of those voters say they definitely won't support Biden in November 2024, compared with 1% of white Democratic aligned voters with college degrees and 5% of Democratic aligned voters of color. This is bad news, because we know that that non-college educated people, they really came out for Joe Biden. I'm talking about non-college white people. They came out and they supported Joe Biden. Not so much now. Biden's weak spots in the race for the nomination are concentrated among independents who lean Democratic. 40% back Biden for the nod, compared with 67% among self-identified Democrats. And younger voters, 49% of those younger than 45 say they back Biden, compared with 68% among those 45 or older. Now I want to get down here to something that is really, really concerning here for Joe Biden right here. Where is it at? When it came to, yeah, here it is. It says the broader negativity towards Biden stems from a more pessimistic assessment among his own partisans than Trump faces. While strong opposition across the aisle is about even for both of them, more than 8 in 10 Democrats say Trump win would be a disaster. I'm not surprised they actually said that. You know, they're Democrats. While a near identical share of Republicans say Biden win would be a disaster, 83%. But Republicans are more likely to call a Trump win a triumph or a step forward, 85%, than Democrats are to say the same about Biden, only 73%. 73%, guys. That's not good for Biden. That is not good for Biden. Convincing the overall public that he deserves a second term would prove a challenge. 2/3, 66% of all Americans say Biden victory would either be a setback or a disaster for the country. The leading contender for the Republican nomination, former President Donald Trump, fares slightly better. 43% say Trump win would be a triumph or a step forward. 56% a disaster or a setback. Though the two are about even in the share who say each of them winning would be a disaster, 44% say so about Trump, while 41% say the same about Biden. Among independents, 45% say a Trump win would be a disaster, while 35% say a Biden win would be. But overall, guys, this is not good news for one Joe Biden, man. This is not good news. Now, look here. CNN's Jake Tapper here. Those are some bad numbers. Jake Tapper reacts to horrible poll results for Joe Biden. CNN anchor Jake Tapper revealed the horrible news for Joe Biden on Thursday after a CNN poll showed the majority of Americans think a Biden 2024 victory would be a disaster or setback for the country. Quote, horrible news, horrible for Joe Biden in our new CNN poll, said Tapper on Thursday. While Joe Biden leads his Democratic competitors by a huge margin, 2/3 of all of the American people surveyed, 66% of the public say that a Biden victory would either be a setback or a disaster for the United States. I got to tell you this, man. Joe Biden gets back in again. I think it's only a matter of time before World War III. I'm dead serious, man. It's only going to be a matter of time. Look what is happening, man. Now, I haven't really touched too much on the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. That ain't really my thing to talk about that. But we saw what happened, man. Joe Biden gets in office. Eastern Europe becomes destabilized, man. It's a mess over there in Ukraine. But yet, all the tax dollars keep going over there. China, they're threatening to invade Taiwan. We're that close, man. There's talks of nukes, which could actually wipe us all out, guys. This man must go. Not only to save the country, but also to save lives, it seems. This administration, man, has put Americans last. The border crisis, man. From what I actually understood, man, I believe Eric Adams said that like 50% of the people in hotels in New York City are illegal aliens. Yeah, they're illegal aliens. 50%. Maybe the people in New York City, they vote Democrat. Maybe they're going to wake up. I don't know. But, man, this is not good for Joe Biden, man. This is not good. And I love it. I like to see these kind of numbers for Joe Biden because he has been that bad. I knew that this was going to happen. He didn't get my vote in 2020. He's definitely not getting my vote in 2024. Trump 2024 over here, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.